I was fixing some graphics. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on After GMS, a little ditty we put together about a year ago on Facebook Live right at 7:45 every day. I'm Tracy McCain here with Ed Matthews and Megan Milleris.
Yeah, it is a good day here on the Good Morning Show. Ed just celebrated a big birthday over the weekend and had some pretty decent weather for that 3-hour bike ride you said you did.
Yeah, that's what I did on Saturday, did that, and then got together with some friends. I'm playing with my phone here. I can't log on to Facebook.
no.
Maybe Facebook just dumped me. You know, is that a possibility?
They give you a break, actually.
They let me tag you in a post I did this morning, so you're still active.
I'll work on it. Working on the weather, trying to make it cooler, but I am failing miserably because it's going to be up right around 90 today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Low storm chance each day, only a 20% chance. Now, a cold front may get close enough by towards the end of the week to give us some extra clouds and cool the temperatures. Don't get too awfully excited about that because the humidity is still going to be up. We'll bring in a 40% shower or storm chance on Thursday afternoon, and then it looks as though our best chance coming our way on Friday and Saturday. We anticipate that front, which is now well to our west, to be a little bit closer coming up by Friday and Saturday. And look at Saturday, only up about 83, but again, there's going to be plenty of humidity to go around as well. So we'll track things through the week. If you're working outdoors today, make sure you got a big old jug of water and make sure you stay hydrated.
All right, two big things, because heat can be very dangerous.
Yes, indeed. Be careful.
All right, on a much lighter note here, we want to talk about your chance to win $1 million. You're probably wondering, who won that?
Me.
Really?
I wish. I'm waiting for them to announce my name. They're going to say, Ed Matthews from Greensboro.
I think you'd already know.
Yeah, you would know.
You would know.
Definitely.
You would be at the announcement, so you wouldn't be here.
Hate to break it to you.
I'd be all dressed in there for the big announcement. Yeah. Oh, well.
Okay, so we're actually wondering who the real winner is of this $1 million prize in the state's first vaccination lottery. We'll find out today at 10 a.m. So in just a few hours, there's still a chance for you to win if you haven't been entered yet. So we wanted you to, let us know what would you do if you won. People are already responding on our feed here. Keep doing that while I give you a little background information. So besides the $1 million winner, a teenager will win a college scholarship. State officials held the drawing Wednesday, remember, but they had to wait, of course, until they confirmed the winners met all eligibility requirements. So it's given people time to really think about, hey, what if I won? What would I do with it? Andy said, I hope it's me because I'm buying a house. Candy says, pay off my house and my car. Bonnie said, I would be so grateful if I won. Never won anything in my life. And Thomas has big plans, and they are big. He says, pay off my credit cards, pay off my girlfriend's house, buy a house of my own, buy another house for my children to live in, use the rest for random acts of kindness to homeless and strangers, and make YouTube videos out the whole experience. It's a big plan. I love it.
He thought that out.
Yes. I'm buying. He's like Oprah. I'm buying you a house and you a house.
Yeah.
And you a house.
All right.
I love it. Buy me a house.
Keep in mind, though, after taxes, $1 million isn't going to get you too many houses.
What would you get with $1 million after you pay the tax? Well, that's a good chunk of change.
Yeah.
That would be like if you did a cash payout.
I see.
And take all the taxes out at once. You'd actually get more money if you didn't take the lump sum cash out payment. because
But you
it'd be
know
over
folks
time.
are going to want the money.
Oh, I would.
Yeah.
Give me the money.
Yeah, right. Why would you wait? All right, so let's see. Oh no, my storage is full. Not now. Okay, let's see what people are saying. The phones are against us today. Lakia said, "Good morning, my WFMY family. I would pay my tithes, get out of debt, student loans, etc., and buy a big home, enough for my family." Nice. And then we have some happy birthday shout outs for you, Ed, just to put it in there.
I love you folks. Thank you.
Let's see. Is anybody else saying? Well, Jason Hutchins says, "Well, I know it wasn't me," because you would know if it was you. You get an email or a phone call. And Megan, as you said, you might be in Raleigh this morning to make the announcement with the governor.
Yeah, so Amber wanted to know, how do you enter? And we can review that real quick.
Yeah, please.
We've been talking about it a little bit, but there are 4 vaccine lottery drawings. The state announced that it was going to do these vaccine lotteries as a way to boost the COVID vaccination rates, because initially when COVID vaccines were available here, people were clamoring to get them. I mean, we got calls off the hook in our newsroom asking, where can I get my COVID vaccine? I can't find an appointment, et cetera, et cetera. Well, now that they're widely available, the demand has really slowed down. And so the governor's office had hoped that by incentivizing people to get it, you know, and giving them $1 million potentially, that they would be willing to go get protected and get the vaccine. So there are 4 chances for you to win. If you've gotten at least 1 dose of the COVID vaccine, you're automatically entered into the drawings. And so if you didn't get the vaccine but you still want to do so, you'll be entered to win possibly the next 3. One adult in each drawing wins $1 million, and then someone 12 to 17 wins a college scholarship. So there are technically 2 winners with each drawing.
Yeah, and so we should note here that, you know, this was the first of 4 drawings, as you mentioned. Winners will be chosen every Wednesday. The next drawing will be on the 7th of July. So, you know, there's still chances to win if you are already vaccinated or plan to be vaccinated. But of course, there are 2 sides of this. A lot of people say this is a huge waste of resources, but also saying that you shouldn't really have to incentivize people to get a COVID vaccine.
Yeah, and you know, I've often called these giveaways bribery. That may be a little harsh, I must admit. The main thing is people getting vaccinated. That's what it's all about. More and more people, and if this is an incentive to be in a lottery, getting vaccinated, you know, that's a good thing. I think the end result is a very positive outcome.
Yeah. At the same time, some people are upset about how the logistics of this have worked, because if you got the vaccine, which I know, Ed, you and I did before these incentives were even available. I think Tracy did too. You know, our names were only entered once into the drawing, whereas people who got vaccinated after the incentives were announced, their names get entered twice. And so you have some people saying, well, this isn't fair. I, you know, did it without the incentive just to protect myself. Why shouldn't my name be entered twice?
Well, that's
so
a good
I
point.
can see that argument too.
And you know, the whole point of this, you know, the governor's office says, was to boost the numbers of people who are getting vaccinated. And we haven't really seen any proof of that yet. So we'll have to wait and see if maybe after the 2nd or 3rd drawing that the lottery actually had a role in, you know, people getting vaccinated.
We just don't know yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Chris pointed out, I hope it's a family who wins, who truly needs the money, you know, would rather someone less fortunate have it so it can change their life. And then Wanda is less worried about the lottery and more worried about whether you're going to share your M&Ms that you got for your birthday present this morning, Ed.
After the Good Morning Show, I went around the building with this big thing of peanut M&Ms. If you missed it, these fine ladies gave me a 6-pack of cheer wine and also a big jug of peanut M&Ms for my birthday. I love you girls. You're fantastic. And so I went around the building with this big jug of M&Ms, and you know, it's important to share. I learned that early in life. You know, Tracy was busy, so I didn't actually get to her personally.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't remember being asked.
Right when we get finished, I'm gonna bring that jug to your desk and let you have some M&Ms.
I'm gonna hold off on that.
Yeah, we got to keep that nice figure going.
I've got to, you know, have my breakfast first. You know, I eat all day, but just not M&Ms.
Yeah, I got you.
Have a few.
One or two.
Okay, so we will have another conversation coming up in a moment, but we do have some Monday morning headlines to get you caught up as you start your week. This morning, we are waiting for Greensboro police to update us on a shooting near UNC Greensboro's campus. Detectives say 4 people were shot and should recover. We do not yet know what led to the shooting or who was involved. UNCG police told us the shooter is no longer a safety concern. Winston-Salem firefighters say there were no working sprinklers or smoke detectors in an apartment fire that killed 2 people, including a 10-month-old baby. The fire happened at an apartment complex on White Meadow Lane yesterday. A 21-year-old man died at the scene. The baby and an 18-year-old woman went to the hospital, and sadly, the baby later died. The woman has serious injuries, and the cause of the fire is still being investigated.
The man accused of killing a 19-year-old High Point University student is scheduled to appear in court today. Court documents reveal Michael Cadogan admitted to killing High Point University student Gianna Delgado during a FaceTime call with a friend. Investigators say Cadogan planned to get rid of Delgado's body in Tennessee. That's where police arrested him last Monday. Cadogan is charged with abuse of a corpse, with possible homicide charges pending in High Point. North Carolina State Highway Patrol begins its statewide Booze It and Lose It campaign today ahead of the holiday weekend. Operation Firecracker starts today, with law enforcement agencies running sobriety checkpoints in all 100 North Carolina counties. It is an effort to keep drunk drivers off the roads and reduce the number of deaths. So far this year, as many as 147 people have died in alcohol and drug-related crashes in North Carolina.
All right, let's get to our next conversation. A heat wave, not here, although probably feels like it today with the mugginess out there. We're talking about out west, triple-digit temperatures breaking records. I mean, 104 degrees in Seattle yesterday.
That was the high yesterday, hottest it's ever been in the city of Seattle, and well above their normal of 74. Can you imagine what the, you know, you normally think Seattle, cloudy, drizzly, cool. Not the case now. They're baking in that heat.
Yeah, I don't know how they're doing it, because I was listening to the network news and they had a soundbite from a woman that says, I go 365 days a year without an air conditioner. She didn't have one. And now she's like trying to get one because it's so hot and they're just running out of supply left and right. So I can even imagine being in that situation, never having to use anything to cool your house, to all of a sudden searching for something because you're so hot both inside and outside. It's dreadful.
I understand that you can't buy a fan
anywhere
in the Northwest. I mean, all of the stores are just sold out. And even these little portable window air conditionings and things like that are just flying, you know, off the shelves. One thing that I've been researching a little bit in between my weather segments this morning is how is the humidity playing in on this. And in this particular pattern, at least for Seattle, more of an easterly wind. I have to think backwards because, you know, that's, you know, the West Coast. So they've got an easterly wind that's coming out of the mountains, so that's fairly dry. When they get a westerly wind coming in off the Puget Sound, that's when they get the moisture and the clouds and the drizzly conditions. So even though it's very hot and obviously can be life-threatening, they don't have the level of humidity that we deal with here in the Piedmont every summer.
It's wild. I think we actually have some computer images of the temperatures and what that looks like. So record-setting temperatures about 30 to 40 degrees above average out west. Christian Morgan here tweeted out that it would be like if Greensboro saw temperatures near 120 degrees. That is how record-breaking this is. So we're asking you here on our feed to kind of localize this a little bit. Can you remember a time when our heat and humidity just wouldn't let up? A time when you felt like you were just sweltering or melting in place? I mean, I can't think of a time in recent history, but you know, in my years reporting for the Good Morning Show, when I would be out in all kinds of weather conditions, I'm sure, Tracy, you can relate to. I mean, just the humidity always made things feel so much worse. And I remember spending so much time on my hair in the morning, and an hour later, it was like up in a ponytail because it was just beyond repair.
No point.
No
point weather.
Wasting your time doing your hair because boing, it just kind of sticks out. It's been a while since we've had had 100-degree heat here in the Piedmont. I can't remember the year, but it was back in the middle or late 80s. We had our hottest temperature measured out at PTI at 103.
Wow.
That official high temperature, that's the hottest we've been. But we can quite often, not necessarily every summer, but we can have heat waves, and the definition of a heat wave is essentially a prolonged period of above normal heat in a localized area, like a week. So this is defined as a heat wave out in the great Northwest. But we can easily have mid and upper 90s, not very often that we crack the 90-degree or the 100-degree mark here in the Piedmont, but it has happened before.
Yeah. You know, just think about Phoenix, Arizona, where it's always hot.
Yeah.
It's always over 100 degrees. And it's a way of life there. I can't imagine myself in that climate because I need to cool down.
Yeah.
I couldn't be in a situation where I was always hot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the fact that the heat waves are bad, yes, I get it. But at least there's some relief in sight for these folks out west. You know, by the end of the week, hopefully it will cool back down, or at least it's supposed to, you think, by the end of the week. So I can't be in a place where it's like constantly hot.
I tell you something that would be interesting. Next time you meet somebody from Arizona or maybe the Phoenix area and they happen to be here in the Triad, ask them what they think of our weather. They can't handle humidity. The humidity is a big thing. I've been out, I was in Las Vegas many years ago, and it was 107.
Yeah.
Didn't even feel at all like it was 107 because the air was very dry. Those dew points and humidity values were very, very low.
Yeah.
But when you throw in that humidity, it really does put stress on the body. So when people from Arizona come to North Carolina, they're going, you know, it might be 88 degrees here with a lot of humidity, and they're going, it's like, I can't stand this.
Right,
This
can't
is
breathe. Like,
unbearable.
It's stifling almost.
Yeah.
My aunt lives in Dallas, and I remember visiting her a couple times, and it wasn't as bad as expected because it's that dry heat. You don't have those dew points that you do here. That makes it feel a lot worse.
Right, yeah.
So, you know, we asked people about, you know, a time when they remembered, and we just heard from Heather. She said, I lived in the area my whole life. I'm so used to North Carolina weather. I think around 2007, 2008, we had a good heat wave here. And I remember that as well. So thank you for mentioning that because it was hot, but it was also dry. We hadn't gotten rain for, you know, 20 to 30 days, and that was causing some other issues in terms of drought. So.
Yeah, you know, the interesting thing, I was, again, you know, doing some research before we came on the air. I mean, all the way up into British Columbia, Canada, like Vancouver, another place where you would expect a lot of clouds, drizzly conditions, kind of natural air conditioning because it's along, you know, the west coast, so they kind of get that sea breeze. They're expecting temperatures of around 102 today, even in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. That's just unheard of. Unheard of. They're calling it the 1,000-year heat wave.
Wow.
That's how rare it is.
So you know how most cars here in the South automatically have air conditioning included? I have a friend that lives in Seattle, and she bought a car that doesn't have AC, just, you know, windows.
Yeah.
Because they don't need
it.
They don't need it. So
Yeah.
it's not even really, if you get the option, it's usually a little bit more of expensive a car, but it's not a standard option.
No.
And she's like, I am dying.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because she's riding around in 100-degree weather with the windows down.
Yeah, and you know, I said this time of year their normal high in Seattle is 74.
Yeah.
Well, occasionally they'll go above normal. Their summers only last a month or two, okay? And then it's back to the chilly weather of the Northwest. With their normal high of 74, yeah, they can occasionally get to 80, maybe even the low 80s. That would be considered quite hot for that area, even this time of year. But again, when you're talking about, you know, 105, 110, just historic. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. Very historic situation out there weather-wise.
Well, Carol remembers the year 1987, but she said she might have remembered that because she was very pregnant at the time.
Right.
And probably felt pretty miserable if it were a heat wave that year.
So in a random fun act here, I asked on our feed here, what are the hot weather songs can you think of? And we got some titles. Are you guys ready? Megan, can you start with yours? Because I like your the way you do
Hot
it.
in Her by Nelly. From St. Louis, hometown representing.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
That's a classic.
It's the way you say it that I love. Let's see here. Wanda Creedle said summertime. Absolutely. Jason said We Didn't Start the Fire by The Boss. I love that song. Then we have Megan's comment. Bobby Odom said Hot and Bothered by a group called Cinderella. Do you remember that, Ed?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Rockin'. Yeah, it's a rockin' group.
I have to look that
remember
one
that.
up. I don't remember that. Carol Harris said Hot, Hot, Hot. And then Jason said Fire and Rain by James Taylor. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of fun. I just always like to,
That's very
throw in a
cool.
side
I like
comment
that.
there.
I like that.
Yeah.
Songs associated with heat waves.
Oh, there's one. Heat wave.
Heat waves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Hey, was it the 70s, 80s?
Oh, don't.
Yeah. Well, let's don't go too far back here.
Well, all of those songs apply to our weather this week.
Yeah.
Not nearly as hot as Seattle, but still, 3 days of 90 degrees is something.
Yeah, absolutely. We've only had 3 90-degree days here in the Piedmont, and I'm pretty happy about that. In a normal season, we would have about 33. We're going to add a few days onto that over the next few days. We're looking at temperatures right around 90 today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Small storm chance as high pressure strengthens over the region. Now, later this week, that high pressure is expected to weaken and move back offshore a bit, and that'll make way for an approaching cold front, and that's going to give us a little better chance of showers and thunderstorms. Beginning Thursday, it looks as though the best shot right now, if this front starts to move, will be on Friday and Saturday. With the anticipated extra cloud cover, we'll back the temperature to 85 for the high on Friday and maybe even as low as 83 on Saturday. But do you think that humidity is going to go down? Absolutely not. If anything, it'll increase later this week. So we go from 90 to the mid 80s, maybe low 80s on Saturday. Not going to feel much different. It's going to be muggy here in the Piedmont. More good news from Ed, right?
Exactly. Usually there's a bright spot on that 7-day, but this week.
I'm still looking. I'm looking for another one of those little shots of
Yes.
cool, dry air. And we've been lucky. We've had a couple of those in the past month. And I'm looking for the next one, but it ain't even on the charts yet.
Oh, wow. But it's coming.
Hope so.
Yeah, at least the tropics are quiet right now.
Quiet right now.
Okay.
We're watching a little disturbance off the Georgia coast. It's going to be moving inland tonight. It could become a depression today, but it's not going to have time to get strong because it's going to be moving inland. Savannah, places like that, a little gusty wind and some rain, and that's about it.
All right.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on After GMS. I feel like we've picked Ed's weather brain so much. We're going to let it rest.
You go for it.
And
I love
replenish
it.
with M&Ms.
Yes.
We'll see you here tomorrow. Take care, everybody.